Hi, today I'm going to be doing the reflection question for December the 18th. The question is, reflect on the literature review development process. What have you learned? What was difficult? How did you group the sources together? And what similarities did you find? So for my literature review, I really learned how to look more into depth into studies. Like, I focused primarily on the methods like by itself, the approach, and the results, because I felt that yielded the biggest idea of what the study was about and all that, because originally like the beginning is like a literature review for each study. So I really learned to look more into depth into it and to find things to criticize. What was difficult for me was grouping the sources together, which ties to the second question, because for my study, originally I wanted to do different lenses, like scientific and all that. And then I felt that if I focused on like a scientific lens, then I would be going to like a different type of, I would be going away from my question. Because for instance, like some studies say, oh, how it affects women in the science field, like having a less visual spatial memory according to their study. But then that would be a complete different type of research question, which for me would be difficult to tie back because that's a major point in the rubric. The similarities that I found at the end and how I grouped them was basically by which one says that men have a better visual spatial memory and which ones say that women have a better visual spatial memory. Because although I had much more men who have a better visual spatial memory, I wanted to show an equal amount, and I felt that that was like sort of a way to show I'm not biased in the type of argument in the research paper. The similarities that I found was a lot with how the people conduct their experiment. Like many of them, the way they collect people and all that, which would make sense to, like, they usually promote flyers and all that. Most of them do that. The fact that they use lots of technology to implement their study, that was a lot. Like, it was seen a lot in many studies. So that concludes my reflection question.